Today I'm going to tell you about what Big 12 coaches have had to say anonymously about Oklahoma and Texas heading into the 2018 season, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time and it's free. So we're going to talk about what Big 12 coaches have had to say about Oklahoma and Texas anonymously, which is really interesting because when people speak anonymously, they usually tell you some truth that they would not necessarily want to say with their name attached.
It's fiery.
But first, some news and notes you need to know, starting with, seems like Drake Stoops is starting to make a name for himself on this roster. You would remember that Drake Stoops, son of Bob Stoops, was a preferred walk-on in Oklahoma and kind of a star at Norman North High School. And I'm about to give you a sourced insider note from OU Insider, the kind of information you can expect to find on the VIP board. And if you haven't subscribed there, maybe you should think about it because stuff like this information is there daily. Drake has that it factor. Apparently he's not gonna wow you with his speed, particularly at the slot position, but he knows how to play football, which leads me and others to believe, don't be shocked to see him be a beneficiary of the new redshirt rule, which allows a player to play up to 4 games without burning their redshirt. Also, there seems to be a good battle happening at free safety between redshirt freshman Justin Broiles and Robert Barnes. Broiles apparently looks the part, and we know how much noise Justin Broiles can talk, and we know how I love trash talkers. It's one of the reasons that the 6-0 Savage was at the top of my list of all-timers for Sooners before he won the Heisman Trophy. And now you can make an argument that he's the best quarterback to ever come through Oklahoma. And if we got that kind of guy playing free safety as a ball hawk, leading that secondary, I like that. However, I really like me some Robert Barnes. Y'all know this. Ever since I saw him lay the wood at that Kansas State game, I've been like, when am I gonna get to see more Robert Barnes play? But we all know about his hamstring issues, and we're hoping that clears up during preseason camp so that you get the best Robert Barnes at preseason camp to go against the best Justin Broiles at preseason camp, and may the best man win. And while they're winning, let's see some more nickel. Let's see some more 4-2-5. Let's see some more one-gap scheme, and it seems like there's a lot of that being worked in to Oklahoma's scheme this year. Yes, the hybrid 3-4 front is probably going to be a thing, but if Buki is good at nickel, I would expect to see more 4-2-5, especially if Oklahoma proves they can run it with a guy like Neville Gallimore in the center of the defensive line, setting the tone, helping set the edge. Now there's plenty more on the VIP board, and I would encourage you to go check that out at OUinsider.com. The next thing you need to know is that the 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball Predictor for Jacoby Jones says Oklahoma. Jacoby Jones is the nation's #1 strong side defensive end according to the 24/7 composite. He is 6'4", 250 pounds, has a high motor, strong hands, and is agile. For me, the 1-to-1 for this guy is Jay Hayes, who had committed to Oklahoma before flipping to Georgia. Now he would be a part of the class of 2019, which means he could come in and be a leader in age and experience, if nothing else, alongside guys like Ronnie Perkins and Michael Thompson when he gets back from his ACL injury, to go along with Ron Tatum, and of course, the other underclassmen on that defensive side to help bolster a defensive line we hope becomes on par with Clemson, which to me is the best defensive line in college football today. Brent Venables, you all know, does a great job. Jones holds offers from Texas, TCU, and Oklahoma State, among others. When I last spoke to him, he had Oklahoma near the top of his list. No word about when he's going to narrow the list, but he hopes to get up here for an official visit. The next thing you need to know is that Nick Basquine is back. Nick Basquine is a fan favorite, a guy who was a Norman North star, 5'11", 195 pounds. And when he's good, he's really good. Tore his Achilles tendon last season, had to redshirt, miss the season. He's back and he's competing for a job, and he gave this quote about what it's been like for him to come back. Just knowing you've got to go through it all over again, that's the toughest thing, Basquine said. But at the same time, you've been through it before, so just knowing that knowledge and just getting ready, you know you could still play for the season. So that was what I kept in my mind the whole time. I, for one, would like to see Nick Basquine out there with CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown setting the world on fire for whoever wins the starting quarterback job, whether it be Kyler Murray or Austin Kendall. Now let's talk about what Big 12 coaches have had to say about Oklahoma and Texas when they knew that they were being quoted with anonymity. So first, First, let's talk about Texas. Shocker here, but this guy doesn't believe in Texas, saying, quote, "Let's be honest here too. Texas has struggled because Texas has been average at best at quarterback. You can't play in this conference and be average at quarterback and win big. The quarterback is everything at every school in college football, but even more so in this conference. It's the lifeblood." Woo! That right there nails it. If you don't have a quarterback in the Big 12, you're not going to win in the Big 12. I believe that. Seems that Big 12 coaches believe that, and I think that's a reason why you continue to see some of the best quarterbacks in all of college football come out of this conference. Texas has no excuse for not being good at quarterback. They can go get quite literally whoever they want. Matter of fact, they stole Cameron Rising out from under us. Now that might be a good thing because Tanner Mordecai could end up being a better quarterback than Cameron Rising. But the point is the same. If Texas wants a quarterback, they go get the quarterback. But more worrisome than the quarterback situation is the idea that Texas isn't tough. Check out this quote. "You want to talk about Texas tough? That team can't run the ball. We were more concerned with Ellinger running the ball than anyone else. When you can't run the ball, a majority of the time, it's because you can't get a push up front. I can't remember the last time the Texas offensive line scared us. They're not pushing anyone around. That's where it has to start for them." Another fiery comment that is straight truth about Texas Longhorn football and how Tom Herman needs to figure it out and figure it out in a hurry. And I think most of Texas, like most of the Big 12, has given up on Tim Beck altogether as an offensive coordinator. Now to anonymous quotes about the Sooners. And this one is interesting because it has the most to say about Kyler Murray, because the person who gave this quote thinks, like most of college football, that Kyler Murray is going to start against Florida Atlantic when the season begins in 2018. Quote goes like this: "We've been watching tape on Kyler Murray from when he was at Texas A&M. There's going to be a drop-off there. Kyler will be very good in the quarterback run game, but he has a long way to go as a thrower. You might say it was his freshman season at Texas A&M, but you see Baker Mayfield's freshman season at Texas Tech, and you could tell he was going to throw it all over the yard at Oklahoma. I'm not seeing that with Murray. Lincoln will coach him up and have him ready, but there will be a drop-off in the passing game." I think this actually hits it on the head, because you're talking about a quarterback in Baker Mayfield who is the most efficient in college football history. You're talking about one of the most accurate passers in college football history. I don't expect Kyler Murray to meet that same level of accuracy and completion percentage and efficiency, but I expect him to make up for it in the read option game in particular, and with a guy like Rodney Anderson in the backfield, I think we'll be fine if it's Kyler Murray, who I think it will be, or even if it's Austin Kendall. Now here's the quote from Athlon Sports that was most derogatory about Oklahoma, if you want to take it that way, and surprise, surprise, it's about the defense. Quote goes like this: "Lincoln is going to have to make a decision on defense. They just don't look like they consistently improve under Mike. That's a tough situation for Lincoln. Mike's brother basically got him that job, set him up. Do you run off Bob's brother because the defense makes way too many mistakes, or do you hope he figures it out? They were just so hit and miss on defense last year, and have been that way now for years." This has been a criticism of Mike Stoops by myself and others, but Lincoln showed his hand early in January when he gave a vote of confidence to Mike Stoops, and then when he supported Mike Stoops getting a raise, $30,000, and an extension to 2020 to be the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma. And the thinking is, with this talented roster, particularly with a top 10 defensive heavy 2018 class, Mike Stoops figures it out, turns it around. You've added Bob Diaco to help him out. You have Kerry Cooks, you have Ruffin McNeil, you have others around him to help him put a defense on the field that can not only succeed, but get back to being dominant. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.